Hello everyone, welcome to the part 4 of this lecture series. In the part 3, the question was why in the grassland systems trees cannot become trees cannot come up as a climax species. Why? Why does it not happen? Okay. So first option is insects and fungi, an illogical one, so we'll discard this. Limited sunlight and paucity of nutrients. See, in the grassland systems, these are of two types, the grassland regions, the tropical ones and the temperate ones. Both of these are in the continental interiors, these grassland regions. Therefore, there is ample amount of heat and sunlight there. So, this option is again wrong, and there is nutrient availability, that's why there is an abundance of grass. So, this option is again wrong. Water limits and fire. Since it is in the continental interior, the grassland regions pass through various phases of droughts. Since droughts come up, so there is multiple incidences of fire. That is why water limits and fire is our correct option. I also told you about the limiting factors. So for the trees, the limiting factors are these. Okay. In the last part, we have discussed these three issues, three functions of ecosystem. Today we are going to discuss this one. See, the trophic level interactions through energy flow. I told you that trophic means food. Okay. So every level there is some species there. These can be producers and consumers. Producers are also known as autotrophs. Auto means self and troph means food, that can make their own food. Consumers are the heterotrophs. Consumers can be primary, secondary, tertiary as well as quaternary based on various levels of their trophic levels. Okay. Energy flow. What is this energy flow? Energy flows through various trophic levels sequentially. So from one trophic level to the next, there is always some amount of energy flowing between them. Okay. Also, whatever energy the first level has produced and the second level, whatever energy it is received, there is some amount of dissipation, loss of energy in the form of heat. Okay. So this was the concept behind energy flow in trophic levels. Let's see one by one these things. Okay. So the first one is food chain. Food chain is a sequential arrangement of the organisms, and here nutrient and energy pass from one to another. Here these are of two types. The first one is grazing food chain. In the grazing one, these are dependent on the insolation. What is insolation? It is incoming solar radiation, means sunlight, dependent on sunlight radiation. Okay. So in both the terrestrial and an aquatic ecosystem, sun is required for food chain to happen. The sun gives them energy to photosynthesize and make their own food. Okay. So these are then taken up by the consumers at various levels. Okay. Now phytoplankton, you should know which organisms are phytoplanktons. These are your diatoms. Diatoms means single celled algae. And one more important one is blue green algae और cyanobacteria जो भी बोलो इसको, ठीक है. These are your phytoplanktons. These are taken up by the zooplanktons, जो क्रस्टेशियंस हो गए, shrimps, crabs वगैरह, है ना. Then the carnivores begin, smaller fish, larger fish and even larger fish. इसको हम हिंदी में मत्स्य न्याय भी बोलते हैं. You would have heard this. And in English it is famously known as law of the jungle. Okay. The next one is detritus food chain. Detritus means dead organic matter, and the producers that are involved here are phagotrophs. Phago means also dead, phagotrophs or saprophytes, detrivores. What are these detrivores? Who live or feed on the dead organic matter. These are your earthworms, bacteria and fungi. Then there are secondary detritus feeders, millipedes, protozoans, larvae, है ना. These are then taken up by the tertiary ones such as the sparrow or the falcon. Now in the detrivores the process of catabolism is involved. What is this catabolism? These detrivores, the bacteria and the fungi, they have a mechanism to convert this dead organic matter into inorganic. So this process of conversion is known as catabolism. Now again, what is humification and mineralization? When the substance is converted into inorganic matter, this organic is inorganic, is from organic to inorganic. Whatever the substance is left, dark amorphous substance is formed after this process. It is known as humus. ये जो है डिकम्पोजर से भी अब बहुत मुश्किल से डिकम्पोज होगा, बिकॉज देव ऑलरेडी डिकम्पोज द ऑर्गेनिक मैटर. सो इनऑर्गेनिक को डिकम्पोज करने में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम जाती है. एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज ह्यूमस. इट इज़ वेरी हार्ड टू डिकम्पोज. फिर भी some organisms do have the capability to decompose this humus, but very slow decomposition is there. ठीक है. सो जो ह्यूमस के डिकम्पोजिशन के बाद जो बचता है वो some more inorganic material is left. So that process of conversion of humus into more inorganic matters is known as mineralization. Okay. So this is what a food chain is. Since the food chain is a linear one, this setup is a rarity. Means कभी ऐसा नहीं होता कि एक जो organism है, suppose we saw that the falcon, this eagle is involved also in the grazing food chain as well as the detritus food chain, and also in the aquatic setup also. It also feeds on the fishes. So there is interlinkage of various species at various levels. That is why to study that we need food web. Food web is interlinked food chains का interlocking pattern. This is what a food chain in a terrestrial setup looks like, and in the aquatic system it is like this. Next is ecological pyramids. An important concept. It is a graphical representation of relationships between various organisms, okay, in the ecosystem. पिरामिड मतलब इस तरह का शेप होगा या ऐसा शेप होगा. दिस इज अपराइट एंड दिस इज इन्वर्टेड. ठीक है. सो दिस सीक्वेंशियल अरेंजमेंट हैज़ वेरियस बार्स प्लेस्ड ओवर देम. जो प्राइमरी प्रोड्यूसर या प्रोड्यूसर यहाँ हो सकता है ना, डिपेंडिंग ऑन वेरियस टाइप्स. दीज आर ऑफ 3 टाइप्स. लेट्स डिस्कस देम नाउ. पिरामिड ऑफ नंबर्स. इसमें एवरी हॉरिजॉन्टल बार, ये जो हॉरिजॉन्टल बार है this is represented by number of individual organisms at each level. This number is a rough estimate, not exact. Okay, so in the grassland ecosystem you can see that the grass, इसके numbers बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं, इसलिए this is at a larger base. This larger bar represents larger number of species of grass. Then the herbivores, the grasshoppers and all, they are lesser in number compared to the grass. Then the rats and the frogs, whoever feed on the grasshoppers, even lesser numbers than the snake, and then the top carnivore, the peacock. Similarly, in the pond ecosystem also this happens. It is upright. ठीक है. So grassland or pond ecosystems में we see upright pyramid of numbers. In the tree ecosystem, on the other hand, we see an inverted pyramid of numbers. How? See, in the tree, various herbivores or birds are present that feed on, they are dependent on the tree for food and shelter. ठीक है. Upon in these herbivores reside many parasites, and within these parasites many hyperparasites reside. So they are even in the larger number. That is why the number is inverted here. Okay, in a single tree multiple hyperparasites are residing. Okay, so this is an inverted. Next one we have pyramid of biomass. Biomass is the weight of organic matter of organisms. So this is a technical term, dry weight. Just for your MCQs, they can confuse you by putting dry weight. Okay, so the unit is kg per meter square. Per unit area में जो weight आता है. In the biomass, only 10 to 20% is transferred from one level to the next. So we can see that the grasses have a larger biomass in the grassland ecosystem. Then the cows and sheep, they have even lesser, and the snakes, birds, frogs, they have even lesser. तो इस तरह से अपना grassland ecosystem में again we have upright pyramid of biomass. In the forest ecosystem also the biomass of the pyramid of biomass is upright. See, in the pond ecosystem, the phytoplanktons put together, the blue green algae, इनका जो weight होता है ये बहुत कम होता है compared to the zooplanktons and even compared to the fish and water beetles. That is why we have an increasing order. ये धीरे धीरे, इसलिए we have a inverted pyramid of biomass for pond ecosystem. Next is pyramid of energy. See, the energy flows from one level to the next. There is a famous 10% rule under which जब sun से light लेते हैं, जब photosynthesize होता है, when they produce the food, the producers, and after these are taken up by the consumers, only 10% of the energy is passed from to the next level. Similarly, when these are taken up by the secondary consumers, again 10% of this is passed over to the this. So energy flow जो है only 10% ही है. The rest 90% is dissipated as heat. Unused energy है ये. ठीक है. And all of these are taken up by the decomposers. Again, this energy का जो pyramid है, it is always upright nature. As you can see that at the base level, the energy level is the highest, and then consecutively it is decreasing. This is the main one you should remember. Okay, next. One more, that these are also the shortcomings of pyramids, that saprophytes or the detrivores are not given a place here. We never saw any of the detrivores in the pyramids. See, here also, and here also. We can't see any of the detrivores here. It does not consider the same species in belonging to two or more trophic levels. द सेम केस फॉर फूड वेब, है ना, जो एक सिंगल फैल्कन स्पीसीज जो ईगल वगैरह है, same species belonging to 2 or more trophic levels, it is not considered here. Next one, pollutant intrusions, a very important topic. In this, the various pollutants enter into the trophic levels in the ecosystem. जो स्पेशली जो नॉन डिग्रेडेबल होते हैं वो ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम करते हैं, एंड हेंस दे रिमेन विद इन द लेवल फॉर अ लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन. These are of 3 types. Let's discuss them. First one is bioaccumulation. So जब pollutant एक single organism में within a trophic level accumulate होता जाता है through food, water and air, the concentration keeps on increasing. The concentration of pollutant is increasing within a trophic level. Okay, this is what bioaccumulation is. For example, if you are residing in a Gangetic region, इसमें क्या है, in the especially in the Bihar and the West Bengal regions, the Ganga river gets polluted so much that there is increased level of arsenic contamination. So arsenic is flowing into the Ganga river. Many fish also get these pollutants inside them through food, water and air. So in a single fish, this concentration is increasing over its lifetime. जब ये छोटी से बड़ी होगी तो आर्सेनिक का कंटेमिनेशन इसके अंदर बढ़ता जाएगा, है ना. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट बायो एक्यूमुलेशन इज. थ्रू फूड, वाटर एंड एयर, the accumulation, the concentration of arsenic is increasing inside it. See, pollutants can be of various sources. इसके कई sources हो सकते हैं. For example, pesticides होते हैं, है ना, DDT, and there is also mercury in the Minamata in Japan. ये city थी, यहाँ पे भी there was widespread bioaccumulation of mercury inside the people. So there are various kinds of pollutants that can enter within a trophic level. So suppose you are living in the Gangetic region of Bihar or Bengal. So from your childhood to adulthood, you are consuming these fishes. अगर आप नॉन वेज हो, है ना. सो इफ these fishes are containing arsenic, then it is entering your body. The concentration keeps on increasing within your lifetime. So if you are studying specifically the human population, so within a trophic level we'll say that it is bioaccumulation. ठीक है, इसमें फूड, वाटर, एयर से पोल्यूटेंट्स एंटर करते हैं और इनका कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ता जाता है. Now if you are a vegetarian, then you are consuming only water, and of course the food that is coming from the that is fed by the Gangetic waters. But for now let us consider only water. जब ये केवल water involved होता है, then the specific case of bioaccumulation where only water is involved, उसको हम bio concentration बोलते हैं. तो if you are consuming the Gangetic water from your childhood to adulthood, the concentration of arsenic in your body will keep on increasing. So इसकी भी स्टडी को बायो कंसंट्रेशन बोलेंगे. इट इज़ अ स्पेसिफिक केस ऑफ बायो एक्यूमुलेशन ओनली. ओके, एंड बायो मैग्निफिकेशन क्या है, इसमें क्या है, व्हेन द पोल्यूटेंट एंटर्स द फूड चेन. So we are not just studying a single trophic level, it is across various trophic levels the pollutant is traveling. ठीक है, तो इसमें क्या है, द पॉल्यूटेंट मस्ट बी लॉन्ग लिव्ड, मोबाइल, फैट सॉल्युबल, बायोलॉजिकली एक्टिव। ये सब प्रॉपर्टीज़ के कारण द पॉल्यूटेंट की लाइफ है वो बढ़ जाती है एंड इट कॉजेज मोर प्रॉब्लम्स. So in the food chain, okay, I told you that fish is eaten by the humans. So humans are also part of the food chain. Fish is eaten by humans. So this will be studied under, ये जो इसमें आर्सेनिक का कंसंट्रेशन है ये यहाँ पे जाएगा, है ना. So we study this under biomagnification. बायो एक्यूमुलेशन हो रहा है थ्रू फूड, वाटर एंड एयर. When we study a single trophic level, then it is called as bioaccumulation. When it is through water, then it is bioconcentration, and when through food chain it is biomagnification. ठीक है. For more clarity, we'll see a diagram. This is the within the lifetime of a fish. ये एक सिंगल स्पीसीज ऑफ फिश ही है जो अपने बचपन से लेके बड़े तक गैंगेटिक वाटर में रह रही है और पॉल्यूटेंट इज एंटरिंग इनटू इट्स बॉडी एंड getting bioaccumulated or bioconcentrated. Then biomagnification is this, wherein the shrimps have a concentration of pollutant, then it is consumed by this and this, therefore the contaminant is biomagnified. ठीक है. This was the concept. Let's see the question. Okay. Make this session interactive by writing your answers in the comment section and also give your feedback. Thank you. Keep learning and keep enjoying.